he thinks it's viable, so I want to see, but still gonna go with Elephant. You know, there always has to be a build up, like some kind of a story to look like Magma's gonna win, then shift
but
180.
All right, B-Cup, talking about roaring at storms. I saw you out last night yelling at the sky. What did it yell back at you?
You saw that?
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a private roaring at the storm session.
Sorry, dude, I couldn't help it.
I was on the balcony. It's okay. It's public space. But, yeah, you know, the storms were talking to me, and they said elephant. They were not saying magma at all. But I think they might have a chance. I don't know. A little experimentation.
More chance, a bit of experimentation coming out from the Magma boys, pulling out the big guns in their very last game. Let's see if they can pull it off in game number 1 of Elephant versus Magma. Big up on the coast. Take it away.
Thank you very much. Nomad coming into game number 1 between Elephant and Magma. This has been a long road and an important one for both these teams, really. I didn't think at this point in the season we'd be seeing matchups that could potentially lead to tiebreakers, but the winner of this one is involved in a tiebreaker somewhere.
Yeah.
Either Elephant with LGD or Magma with EHO.
Everyone loves tiebreakers, you know. Play 6 weeks, possibly 8 weeks with 2 weeks pause, just to play that 1BO3 or 1BO1 to be able to go through. Like, that didn't matter last 6 weeks. Down the drain, let's just play 1BO3 to decide who's going where.
I think the whole season should just reset. If there's any ties, everything resets, we start over again.
There's
fine.
not enough time, B-Cup, for that.
You
Also,
have to get it
I'm
all
very
done in one
glad
day.
that you're not involved in any, you know, organizing of the events, organizing of the rules. So, yeah, just stick with what you know. Hype it up. Let's go. Storm Spirit position 4. Talk to me about the items.
I don't know. He's going bottle and null talisman. So is
No, that's an off lane. No, it's
Yeah.
actually a 4 Storm. Never mind. Because he's like trying to rush bottle. Very interesting.
yeah.
I was
But-
like, maybe they are not swapping the... Maybe they're just swapping the hero roles, but they're not. Because TZY is playing that Tusk with the Quelling Blade.
Interestingly enough, he's back on this Tusk. You've got Mian on Storm. I want to say I don't think I've ever seen him playing Storm in the amount of time I've watched him throughout the years. Like that, I don't know if I've really seen much of 4 Storm at all in a pro game.
There were some. You know, people try to make it work. It's super greedy. Storm goes in, blocks the small camp so they can get the pull off. You don't need Storm for that. You can do that with any hero pretty much. But yeah, he's gonna struggle against Lion in the lane, where like mana drain is just gonna destroy him.
Yeah, they've brought FY up here, and FY, obviously, he plays the 4 for Elephant, but he's here in the safe lane. Sometimes the supports will switch. I was wondering, I actually wanted to ask you, is it the matchup that the Lion's getting that draws the Lion towards top, or is it the Elder Titan
It's much better for both of the supports to be in the different lanes that they usually are because of the mana drain against the Storm Spirit once you get that on level 2. Also, bottom lane, it's not the greatest because you're playing like 2 melee strength heroes into Undying, but you also, I'm not going to say can trade with the Undying, but with the Astral Spirit, you're going to get the extra damage coming up from the summons from the Treants, so that's a good thing. But, you know, Undying still the king of zoning people out.
Yeah, trying to do as much as he can with that mana that he's got. He's only got 1 Mango, 1 Clarity right now and sitting on 47 mana, so yeah, he'll use that Mango, go to the Decay, and we'll see how Kaz continues to work, at least for right now, because he doesn't really have quite a lot of mana to work with. Shylock losing his courier. So a couple of couriers killed so far. No first blood. 2.5 minutes in. We haven't really spoken too much about the Somnus v Dust over mid. Void Spirit TA. Is this a matchup that Dust should be winning?
I don't think so. Like, Void Spirit is just one of the strongest laners. His attack animation is insanely good. Has a decent amount of armor.
Up top, FY getting chased, slowed up, gets that Fairy Fire off, surviving with a minuscule amount of health and turning this around as he pops the salve. Wraith Fire Blast coming through into Mian, but FY not committing. Eurus down to about half health.
Storm Spirit has only stick charges to work with. Courier, that's actually TZY's courier, so no extra region. They summon a tree to get more region out of that last tango that was shared actually by TZY. So yeah, there is kill potential. Snowball, Storm doesn't get in. They're not on the same page.
Yeah, now they go for the Storm instead. They'll use the tag team once more. FY will hex up TZY, and Eurus getting hit hard. But again, both these teams going back and forth with a little bit of a skirmish. Nobody dying.
You need to be careful, like how much damage Tusk can deal in this type of a lane. Once you get that level 3 2 points in tag team, it's just some serious amount of damage. Like sometimes you're like, what? Where's that coming from?
Aether Remnant. But into the Vortex, Mian trying to help out Dust here. But they'll drop the Tombstone, so they're really going to try for this. A two-man sleep. Somn is still on the run, though. Won't make it out, and Mian does get first blood with that 4-position Storm.
I kind of wanted him to get that first blood, and here comes the bottle. So
Red Panda might die, too. God, Zombie's doing so much damage, especially with Kaz hitting hard with 12 stolen strength.
Also, Templar Assassin has a double damage in the bottle. Lion needs
Guards
to be
up
careful. Top.
And they'll get the kill on the FY, but they'll trade Mian, so finally one on the board for Elephant. Not bad for MagMa so far. The start with the aggression that they've used has been placed pretty well. I mean, there was a little bit of miscommunication top at times, but I would say overall you're happy with this start.
Double damage.
Got it.
TZY picked up the bottle from the Storm Spirit, got the bottle, got the rune inside of it, which means that he's full HP, full mana mid lane.
Stun out and looking for the sleep that lands, and Dust is in trouble, hexed up by FY. 3-man decay. Dust, though, gets the refraction off, and well, now
that
he's
double
turning this on Red
damage is
Panda.
gonna hurt.
Eurus also dies top.
It's looking spicy.
Whoa. MagMa really putting this together.
And Tusk is getting solo XP from this. Like, he's gonna be level 6 pretty soon. And I don't think you can play the lane once Tusk gets level 6. It's just, you're gonna get to pretty much one-shot it. Line shows up, Snowball, tag team, plus a Volrus Punch, you're instantly dead.
Yeah, one Vortex shot with that, or wow, you know, one Vortex with the Static Remnant shot coming in, and you're probably dead. Once he hits that level 6, they've got the stun. Eurus thinking about turning around, goes to the Wraithfire Blast, and now the Hex, the right-click damage on the Skeletons with the Snowball save is not there.
They just wanted too much, you know. Diving underneath the tower, Tusk doesn't have any mana left, already used his kit, so just try to get that level 6 on Tusk, and you can still get some easy kills. Wraith King getting closer to level 6 as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Back is Mian refilling that bottle. They're going to snowball. They want to go for this. They still don't have level 6, but oh, Shylock, everybody getting stunned. That was a 3-man stun save there for FY.
Shylock should have TP'd a bit more in the backline. Like, there's still a Quelling Blade, so you're not going to get too much out of the Sprout. Possibly just try to block him out, and also ulti did not connect. They lost the vision. On the bottom, we didn't talk about Yang at all. Like, he's 42 CS on a Beastmaster, has that Necrobook 1 done, so you need to be very careful about like one extra rotation on the bottom lane. Has that Roar up. Someone needs to tank that Roar, and like, it's probably gonna be Undying. Someone else shows up, like no matter who shows on the bottom is just pretty much dead, and it's also a dead tower.
Yeah, so they're trying to make something happen elsewhere as they'll go to the Walrus Punch as well as the right-click damage from Mian. But just can't get
Skelly
the kill on
Bros.
Eurus. And yes, the Skeleton's doing a lot of damage. Mian maybe trying to get something out of this. But even with the Vortex, Tusk has left him. TZY leaves Mian to die. And Eurus gets away with another kill. They get the tier 1 tower over mid, but they've lost their tier 1 bottom. So they're giving Eurus a lot back.
is under
Yeah, like
terms
those
of net
2,
worth.
3 bad moves coming out from MagMa after having a really good start on the top lane, allowing Eurus to come back into the game. No shenanigans this time around. Phase boots, gloves of haste, not going for Midas, straight into Radiance. Like, you hit that Radiance timing a bit faster, but you get more levels with the hand of Midas, of course, and it pays off. But he feels like he needs it like right away to be able to fight with the team. There's going to be Beastmaster who will be super farmed. Like, Radiance against the Templar Assassin is just too good against Nature's Prophet and his Treants also, so I can understand why he's rushing Radiance here.
Yeah, not going to what we've seen has been the staple of the Midas. I think I had that conversation with Black yesterday, talking about what's going to make you go straight to the Radiance over Midas Radiance. And
Dire's top tower.
Did he
is
say
under
anything
attack.
smart?
yeah, he did, but I don't want to misquote him, so, you know, I'll leave it to getting to that Radiance quicker. If you can get that timing, feels much
Dire's
better.
top tower is under attack.
Makes a lot of sense. You buy Radiance faster, you will have it much quicker.
I simplified it for all the people out there.
Got it. Kaz on a mid lane. He just wants to bait a couple of spells, gets the Tombstone off.
Ooh, Stoneball coming in with the Walrus Punch. Now they'll get Shylock in. Primal Roar off before Yang, I would think, maybe dies here. Survives way longer than I thought he would. It's so far just a 1-for-1 trade as they continue to turn, look for Somnus, but don't find the kill on the Void Spirit.
Elephant needs to be careful about those like mid fights because they don't have a tier 1 tower to TP to.
And that one
Radiant's
is
top tower
pretty
is
good for
under attack.
MagMa, considering they get Primal Roar out. Again, like you said, he wanted to bait out some spells there, and he did. I thought they might hold the Primal Roar, but Yang, with his last breath, throws the ult.
It may sound stupid, but that's what Kaz wanted to do there. You know, just go in, die, and he's done it perfectly. He got the Tombstone off, like didn't get the levels before he died, so that's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, you see those spells, like you see Finger, you want to kind of force Lion to maybe use it on you. Same goes for Roar, you want to tank it instead of getting a Roar, let's say, on a TA.
I mean, he's a 5 Undying. I think that's fine to soak up as much as you can. Be the sponge. TZY and Shylock up towards top with Mian Mian, trying to take yet another tower. Elephant need to figure out what the response is to this, whether or not it's defending the tower or going somewhere else to try and take an objective of their own. So they'll try to defend a little bit with the Elder Titan coming around is Somnus as well as FY. Somnus, he's spotted. Aether Remnant's down. They use the Finger. They get the kill into Mian Mian, but now the Snowball over with the Walrus Punch, looking over at FY with the tag team. They'll get themselves a trade. It's Kaz with a Decay that gets the finishing blow, and it's a tower and a kill. So not bad for MagMa. Still
Not at all.
looking
They
good.
have 1k gold lead. Like, MagMa came prepared for this one. Like, you can see a bit of an unorthodox draft here. Offlane Tusk, we've seen that before, but it's not like super popular. And position for Storm, they also brought in Undying. You know, a Storm 4 can work much better if like you don't have a mid laner who wants to be in a triangle but instead wants to go and do stuff on the map. So it's kind of hard. Like TA, she has a Blink Dagger, you know, so she can jump between the camps, possibly get a better positioning in a team fight.
Right.
But as a position for Storm, you need to be greedy. Like, you need to get the items, possibly farm jungle a bit more. He's going into Orchid, which I really like. I think Orchid... All right, I'll hold that
Yeah,
thought.
they're going to get a kill here on a Red Panda, but Eurus might try to turn this around with Red Fire Blast as well as the Aether Remnant. But a ball lightning away from Mian Mian, and again, MagMa, they're in and out. They get a kill, they leave. This has been continual success. Something we've seen from MagMa before in the early parts of games has been successful laning, successful mid-game. They just
Not
need to
so
put it all
successful,
together.
like mid-game decision-making has been their huge issue. Laning
Right.
stage-wise, they have been on point. Like, they know how to utilize their heroes in the lanes, and we can see why. Like, in a lot of their games, like, around 10-minute mark. I don't think they lost many of the games. And this is something that Position 4 Storm needs to do. Like, you want to be in a triangle, farm the big camp, stack the Ancients, and like farm the small camp as well. Try to slow down a game for yourself a bit. You don't necessarily need to, like, you're not a mid-storm. Like, you don't have enough, like, mana pool at this time. Mid-storm could possibly have Orchid, but, you know, he died also 4 times as a Position 4. So needs to slow it down a bit, get more farm online, and then you can jump either Lion, possibly jump a Void Spirit, but Void Spirit will have that Yule Scepter to deal with the Storm Spirit Orchid. Also, they have a Nature's Prophet, so who also has Orchid already done. So that's a pretty big deal.
And he's going to Orchid BKB. Do you want something before that BKB for Shylock?
No, BKB is completely fine. Like, you're playing into Lion, you're playing into Void Spirit. The only BKB piercing ability they have is pretty much Roar. The one that can lock him down, you know. Earth Splitter still goes through magic immunity, but a bit harder to execute.
So Eurus just trying to farm up as best he can. He was going for that Radiance and picked up the Sacred Relic. Dust trying to get into the Deso, has enough for one Mithril Hammer. Snowball going after this Wraith King, and they will pop his first life with that Orchid and help from TZY. Balling in, they've got the Vortex. Do they have the damage? FY in with a 2-man stun, followed up by the sweet Primal Roar gets used. So they get the kill on him. Yam Yam, they look over for TZY. Snowball once again going after Eurus. They're turning this one around. They'll use that ult on Kaz. Finger there, TZY gone. And Orchid onto the Beastmaster who's been caught out. So Yang, FY, they both fall. There's a double damage here on Dust, which will help him take out Red Panda. He'll get a double kill, and it will be a 2 for 3. Elephant almost turning that around, but MagMa, they stay steady and take a fight that they're victorious on, and they'll take the tier 1.
Yeah, they very good rotation from MagMa there, you know, going on the Raid King, understanding that like they can bring him down so quickly with the Treants tag team, nice shards to block him off, good disengagement from ET and the Lion, but still overall a better trade. Once TA with the double damage shows up, you kind of understand the fight is pretty much over. You use all your abilities, you use Roar, you use a Finger, so you can't really just burst her down. Radiance timing is up, so like they also have a Necro 3, so I still feel Elephant wants to take the fight right now. Well, maybe they don't, my bad, because Reincarnation is on cooldown for another 2 minutes. Eurus needs to be more careful about it. They need to be able to protect him.
Yeah, and he kind of wants that Reincarnation with another item, right?
Like, if he had Reincarnation, they would play much more aggressively.
Yeah, they're going to go for this, though. There's the Walrus Punch, and they get the kill so quickly onto Eurus. Red Panda follows, and all of a sudden, this is feeling like a very MagMa-sided game at the moment.
Yes, I mean, I just mentioned it. I was surprised that they decided to take that fight without Reincarnation, because you want to have it. You hit the Radiance timing. Maybe you feel obligated to do something. I love this move from MagMa. They take a fight near the Roche. They have really good Roche-taking lineup. Deso online from Templar Assassin on top of a Blightstone. That's a lot of minus armor plus attack team. Roche goes down so quickly. And this Undying, like, he's getting levels. He's level 9.5, going into mech like Guardian Greaves, Double Bracer, Magic Wand. They're going to have issues dealing with this Undying. I don't mean the Tombstone, because there is enough attack speed coming out from the Beastmaster, but very hard to bring down in a fight. And it's also not the hero that you want to focus for sure.
Yeah, and he's going to have that Guardian Greaves at some point where you'll have that sustain. This fight is just not looking easier and easier for Elephant for a while. And they will lose FY again. TZY getting the kill there. This is TZY who's starting to really dominate the game with this Tusk. He's doing a lot of damage quick.
Beak up, my man, if you were listening to me, you know, talking about the heroes, which heroes are the greatest in this patch that were kind of underused, that's in Tusk, either on 4, either on the off lane, Grimstroke, and the Pangolier, you know. And all of these heroes are, like, super strong. I love this off lane Tusk. I think in the last month, I played it at least, like, 10-15 times, because there's so much potential in this hero. Like,
you play that Pango too?
Sure, you know, I feel I'm abusing those imbalance heroes, at least that are in my head imbalance. Another good initiation.
Yeah, killing a red panda. Somnus shards are there, but he's got another astral stab. FY also died to TZY.
Dire's
And
middle
another 2
tower
kills,
is
now a
under attack.
6k lead. Do you like Tusk offlane /4 as much as I like offlane bottom?
Yeah, and
Silence and Eurus. Ooh, God,
He gets
just got
three-shotted.
reincarnation back, and he's 3-shotted, killed, and now on the run. They finally take out TZY. Dust moving forward, trying to get the second life, and he will.
that's the A with Aegis.
Yeah, Dust is just in here. Yang's dead too. Sleep lands. Maybe they take out the Aegis, but is that going to be enough to feel like you did anything in this fight? Finger comes out. Shylock finally drops. FY just barely gets him. Dust taunted up to do the 8th remnant, but I mean, FY, he's dead. 4 heroes gone on Elephant.
That's still such a good
Dire's middle tower is under
trade for
attack.
MagMa. Like, if Nature's Prophet lived there, what he needed is like 1 extra HP, like maybe 50 to be able to survive. They traded this Aegis for more kills, a tier 2 tower, so they can take the outpost before 20-minute mark possibly. Let's see if they decide to do it. Kaz is like, yeah, that's my job. I'm not afraid to die.
He doesn't go after it.
Doesn't
But
go?
look,
Okay.
You look at this replay, and yeah, like you said, you're 3-shotted. Oh my God, this Wraith King feels like paper. And they rip through him. Dust is so aggressive here, knowing he's got that second life, which
Well, now you have a lot of issues.
is a lot of confidence.
You have a position 4 Storm who has Orchid done, so that's a second Orchid to be able to, you know, deal with Lion. Lion has a Blank Dagger, so he needs to stay further away back, possibly like Initiate. Like, usually you do not want to hex a position 4 hero, but in this case you might be like needed to do it.
Right.
And because Tusk is a hero that doesn't really flash farm from the off lane compared to like some other off laners, so I think like Storm will take over the farm eventually, like get the farm priority.
Wouldn't it feel nice to get a little farm priority as a 4 position? Almost has this Heaven's Halberd, so Radiant's Halberd. Okay.
We've seen like either casual Sunj, S and Y, but Heaven Halberd feels real nice playing into like 2 cores that rely on dealing heavy right-click damage, Templar Assassin, and Nature's Prophet. Now they're getting the AC.
Right on to Red Panda, and he just gets blown up. 20-9, a 7k lead for MagMa.
Radiant are scanning.
I don't want to get too ahead of myself because we've been burned before.
Now just say it.
Burned
you know.
on the first day when LBZS lost a 35, 40k lead.
Yeah, because that's like inexperience. But this one looking really, really good for MagMa. Like they have a lot of issues that MagMa needs to address. Like you need to address this position 4 Storm Spirit. Tusk is doing quite a lot. He can pretty much solo kill Lion or ET. The one thing I like about Tusk is, like I was just checking out the stats. I'll hold that thought in case they initiate on a mid lane. Like if you check Tusk stats gain per level, like he gets almost 4 strength per level. He gets 1.7 intelligence per level and 2.1 agi, compared to like Wraith King, who's also a strength hero, and like he gets only 3 strength. So you know there's a like big difference. You get levels on Tusk. He feels almost unkillable. He gets a ton of armor. He gets a ton of HP.
Ooh, they might find something out of this one. They've got the stun that's out on a dust, but he's going to be pulled up via the snowball. That goes all the way across Red Panda, so he's unable to get the sweep off. They get the kill on Kaz, but they end up losing FY. Walrus Punch comes through into the Void Spirit. Somnus trying to leave Eurus on charge here as he's trying to move in and kill off TZY. Finally does. Red Panda's also gone, so it's a 2-for-2 so far, but Yang on the backline's falling to Yan, who's playing aggressive as a 4-position Storm. They bought back on the Elder Titan, and now can they take out Dust? That's Reincarnation Pop. They've got
No
the Aether
BKB.
Remnant locking up Dust. Now they've slept him up. But Sprout around him, is it going to be enough to keep him alive? No, it won't be. Shylock now forced to TP out as they do finally kill Dust. Take away his 7-time spree, and it goes into the hands of Somnus.
Yeah, I think they actually need to focus that Undying so that he can get the Tombstone off. Let's see how they manage to burst him down. Yeah, just the Hex and he's dead. They even used the Roar on him because they understand if he uses like multiple Soul Ribs, if he uses a mech and a Tombstone, let's say, on the high ground there where the Sentry Ward is, they just straight up lose that fight because they can't deal with the Tombstone on the high ground for sure.
Shylock trying to do as much as he can in this replay, and while that's happening, Red Panda is dead to Mian Mian. But you can see they finally get a little bit of control here on Dust. I thought he might survive. Shylock popping that BKB trying to support the TA.
Raid King still deals ton of damage, you know. Once you leave him alone, if he's not focused in the team fight, you're gonna feel that Radiance burn kicking in. Surprised ET decided to put even more points in like Astral Spirit. He's level 9, you're playing position 5 ET. I don't think it's the game where you can afford to get multiple points in Astral Spirit. 2 is fine in the laning stage, but you want to max out that aura for sure after the stun.
Void Spirit, Silence, Shylock's here. 4 heroes around this Void
good
Spirit.
Orchid.
Somnus just no way out.
They cycled their Orchids very nicely there, not allowing him to use his Astral Steps. So they killed Roshan pretty quickly in this game. May respawn in 5 seconds. Like if it spawns instantly, they have Hawk scouting it out.
TZY just right in on this. Now they've got the Orchid to follow it up, and Yang dead to rights, and there's just nothing he can do about it. He'll follow up with a kill on a Red Panda. I mean, this is MagMa just taking over.
MagMa's lineup is really good at just picking people off with like Storm Spirit 4, setting things up, zipping in, either a Blink from Templar Assassin, Nature's Prophet deeping in. So yeah, even more minus armor coming out with that AC. He's just 1,000 gold away. Roche will respawn in a minute and 15 seconds. They are taking the outpost already, so that's a huge deal because Elephant can't really backstab, and it's very important to control that outpost for the Roche. So you can't really buy back and TP. You have nothing to TP on. It's very important because they lost all their tier 2 towers.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
4-2 and 13 for Kaz. It's a lot of involvement, and he's almost got the Guardian Greaves, which will be a massive problem for Elephant. The amount of sustain that they'll have, Elephant just won't have many answers. They've gotten to a second Halberd.
He's level 15 on Undying. Like this hero struggles with the levels, but if you're surviving the team fights, if you don't die straight away, like you're gonna get to those levels. And I think Elephant addressed the problem nicely in the previous fight, where they just actually just went for him. So Kaz needs to be a bit more careful, or there needs to be a snowball
Blink
save.
Hex coming in from FY. They've got the finger used. Is it enough damage to kill TZY? It is, but the ball lightning in deep from Mian Mian. He's immediately slept up. 2 heroes dead on MagMa, but they will find one in return on Red Panda. They'll buy back on Mian Mian immediately, trying to get back into this fight, and he will. There's the ball lightning looking forward. Eurus on the run has reincarnation, which isn't popped just yet. They go and find FY.
Oh, that's a dieback from Storm.
And Storm's just dead again. Triple kill here for Somnus, and starting to turn the other direction. Looking like Elephant might want to fight the other way. And this is a fight that's going to be big for them because Roche is up.
A huge mistake there from Kaz. He was hesitating so much using the Soul Rip. If we're going to see the replay, not even popping the mech to be able to save the Tusk. If Tusk gets the snowball off, he can blink out. He can use the Walrus Punch. Yeah, let's see that one again. Like you can see him not using Tombstone, just running around. Just drop the Tombstone. Like no mech, no Soul Rip. It could make a hell of a lot of a difference there.
And they went for Eurus. They continue to chase here. This is already Mian Mian back for the second time. For some reason, the focus goes off Eurus and onto FY instead, to the point where they don't even kill Eurus.
Eurus recovered nicely. He's level 20, has that like extra mobility with the move speed, has that Heaven's Halberd, so if he uses that on TA, pre-BKB, like you're pretty much crippled. It's just too long duration on that Heaven's Halberd, can't dispel it.
is under
DA,
attack.
however, like she deals ton of damage with the Daedalus Desolator. She's also like level 22, Meld dispels. Not too many things to dispel this game, but still okay-ish.
Shards in. Roche isn't going down quickly. Everybody up for MagMa. Confidence here from Elephant to even take this 5 alive on MagMa. Kaz with the Wraithfire Blast. He is blown up. Forced to buy back.
I see what they're trying to do. Like they want to bait, possibly with the Undying Snowball save him, but Snowball never came. Like nothing canceled the Blink Dagger. He just died too fast.
It's for letting him die previously.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of revenge. Wraithfire Blast out on the Kaz, who just bought back. He's dead again. 75 seconds without this Undying. Now they're going to look over to the Void Spirit. They've got themselves the Walrus Punch as well as the BKB being popped. They're going to go after Samus. Can they get the kill to the Void Spirit? Not just yet. He used the stat to simulate to back away, but man, he dives for him. He goes with the Ball Lightning, trying to make a play here. He falls to the finger while Dust is gone. And Eurus with a BKB. TP out just in time. Shylock away from 7K to 2K.
Yeah.
And now Roche. Elephant
Oh
are
man,
rubbing
that
their
feels
hands
bad
together.
for MagMa. They had this game in full control. Couple of bad deaths, a buyback from Storm Spirit, crippled his own game. Like you're also playing Storm into Lion. You need to be very careful not to overextend. If you can burst him, that's fine. But the Eurus right now just feels like they can't bring him down. You can like feel in the previous fight that he gets 3-shotted because of that minus armor. Now with the AC, Heaven's Halberd, like the miss chance, he's super strong. And Aegis, so they need to go through his reincarnation, Aegis, which is going to be really, really hard.
He's going Basher next. He's got that AC. Eurus not as paper thin as we've seen him earlier in this game. And that has become a big issue for MagMa. It's also their focus, I think, has become a big issue in this game. They're not coordinated.
They're not. Like, you could see, first time, Undying not using Max nor a Soul Rip to save the Tusk. Then Tusk returns the favor, doesn't blink in and Snowball to save Undying. And then a buyback from Undying, dying straight away.
immediately.
Same goes with the Storm Spirit. Like, they didn't get any value out of those buybacks.
Now, usually you think of those buybacks as extra lives and opportunity to make more happen. But instead, when the fight splits and the coordination's not there, it's just buybacks to die back. You're trying to use it for something more, and unfortunately, you're getting nothing out of it.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Somnus has a really nice item build this game. Like, he went Eul Scepter to deal with the silence coming up from that fast Orchid from Nature's Prophet, then bought a Witchblade for a bit more damage. It works nicely with the Astral Step as well. And then Heaven's Halberd, a bit of status resistance, and Disarm once again against the Nature's Prophet. This is the problem with the lineups that don't have mixed damage, where both of your cores solely rely on heavy right clicks, so you can itemize easily, I would say. Like, all you need is AC to lower the damage coming up from the right clicks, and now 2 Heaven's Halberd. At this point, I don't think MagMa can come back into the game. Might sound a bit of a weird one, because, you know, it's only a 2K gold lead, but they lost their momentum.
Yeah, it's not just a 2K gold lead. It's a 9K gold swing. Like, that's a big swing, a big different feel to this game. It's really tough because it really did feel like MagMa had something going for one of the first times throughout the DPC in terms of just the momentum and how they were playing the early parts of this game. We'll have to see now. Undying, he's still going for the Guardian Greaves. Like we talked about how he might have that at a decent timing. Well, the buyback slows that down. Tusk going Ags. I'm a fan. I'm always interested to see a kick.
Yeah, it's one of the best ones. Probably the most fun ability in Dota for sure. Like kicking out BKB targets, but they don't even have a BKB ability. They don't have a BKB buyer on Elephant, at least. No one bought it. They went for a bit more to counter what MagMa has with those Heaven's Halberd, so not investing into BKBs, which is also okay, I would say.
Yeah, no BKBs yet.
But yeah, that kick really messes up with the BKBs, especially when they're like 5 seconds. You go in, whole BKB duration gone, you get kicked out. You need to be careful about like sieging the high ground. One kick back into like tier 4s could make a difference.
I'd love to see it though. Just one kick kicks him into your own well. It's a shooty scores moment. So a long ways till he gets that, and now we're seeing Beastmaster go for the shard. Gives you control of those Hawks, gives you the dive bomber. We saw the dive bomber actually be important yesterday.
Oh yeah, Fate Beyond really nailed those dive bombs.
That was fun
with
to
the
watch.
Beastmaster.
Aether Remnant on the Mian. He is not making it out of this one. FY blows him off the face of the earth with that finger. Nothing from the Storm anymore.
Radiant structures are
And they want to go in. Walrus Punch used. Interesting move there just to back off, but Walrus Punch not exactly the longest of cooldowns. Eurus on the high ground just standing his ground. Again, has that Aegis, has the Abyssal ready to go. Waiting for somebody to come close to maybe pounce on.
Aegis is gone in 10 seconds, so they need to be a bit more careful. If they can time it correctly, go on Eurus, take his life first time while there's like regeneration going on.
Instead, Elephant, they don't exactly push their issue or push their hand that hard. They back off. So continuing to extend the lead, got themselves a 5-kill lead. Wraith King at the top now. The rest of the team trying to catch the Wraith King. Go Scepter for the Elder Titans. Not bad at all. Double damage picked up for Eurus. Might be a chance for them to reinitiate. Maybe a spot where MagMa don't even want to go in. Hit by the Abyssal Blade. Kaz blown up very quickly with the BKBs being popped by both TZY as well as Dust. Shylock coming in too, and they're trying to get anything out of this. Mian gone, 2 heroes dead on the side of MagMa, and now the sun comes through. They get the kill on the Dust. They look over and find themselves a 4th in TZY. The only one to get away is Shylock, and they get nothing out of it. Fighting into the double damage, using these BKBs, still no success.
Yeah, they definitely lost their momentum right now. 9k gold lead. These are the heroes that don't really play like, well, I'm not gonna say from behind, but like Templar Assassin. Like even if she gets that nullifier,
is under attack.
I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference. I think this game is just completely over right now. They don't have what it takes to take a fight against Elephant right now.
Shylock getting caught, and the finger was used. The damage is there. Shylock gone without buyback, and they will call GG off that one. That is not the way MagMa want to go out on this game. And Elephant, they bring it back from a decent deficit. They don't exactly look strong in this first game, but they pull out a victory.
Elephant should be happy about this one, because you know, MagMa handled it to them.